You guys know I usually focus on physical science on this channel, exploring unique reactions and the fascinating science behind it. But today we are shifting gears to financial science, because what is happening in the financial market now is equally important and arguably more closely related to your daily life than the chemical reaction I'm showing here. Today we have witnessed the biggest IPO in history. Here is the oddity you need to know about. Usually, an index fund waits for up to a year for a new stock to season to prove its profitability, but several major index funds actually changed their rules to fast-track its inclusion after just a few days of trading. This means if you hold certain index funds, you're automatically being forced to buy SpaceX during its most volatile period, without you ever consenting to the purchase. You may ask, how does this have anything to do with me if I'm not an investor? For decades, the fundamental law of financial science for everyday people has been compound interest. By putting your retirement savings into the broad index funds, you automatically buy a tiny slice of the entire economy. Your returns will be compounded by the future growth of the economy. But there is a catch. It depends on a system that relies on broad stability. The entire premise of index funds is to provide slow, stable, diversified growth. By changing the rules for SpaceX, it's introducing major risks to everyone's retirement accounts without your knowledge. While SpaceX is worth nearly $2.1 trillion, only 4% of its share were made available for public trading. When trillions of dollars in passive funds are suddenly required to buy SpaceX stock, they all have to squeeze through that 4% door, which will inflate its price far beyond its actual business fundamentals. In other words, you are forced to carry the risk of its volatility while providing a real chance for early investors to cash in. So, are your retirement funds buying into the hype? As paradoxically as it sounds, the easiest way to check is using AI. Here is an example. Just open Google Gemini and ask it a highly specific question about the index funds you own. Google will instantly break down the latest index rules for you. Also, remember that sometimes AI doesn't provide accurate information. It's important to do extra research, but it's definitely a great place to start. Financial science is evolving just as fast as rocket science. It pays to know what's in your orbit.